Good afternoon, anglers. This is Anglers 48. Thank you for joining us today on this episode. What's in store? We're going to be doing a tutorial. The tutorial is going to be about the popping cork, how I utilize it, and details regarding its setup. Okay. Several viewers have asked if I could make a tutorial. Well, excuse me, Anglers 48 uses the popping cork pretty much religiously. It's something that works really well for me. The popping cork that I have been using lately is this one right here, and some of you guys may be familiar with it. It's got these heavy duty beads. They make a whole lot of noise. It's got a plastic endpoint right here, and it provides a lot of vibration when I'm popping the cork. Now, this popping cork, once again, has seen better days. It's still useful to me, right? It's not very presentable, but it still serves its purpose out on the water. Now, keep in mind, different types of popping corks have different designs, right? Similar but different. This one in particular has a metal shaft, right? And it's weighted on the end that's gonna be pushing the bait into the water. So when you're setting up your popping cork, you want to make sure that the end of the line from your pole is not hooked up to the weighted end, right? As you can see, there is a weight right here. So you want your fishing line from your pole to attach to the non-weighted side. Now, I am not gonna go and use a popping cork like this one right here. This one has fluorocarbon line instead of a metal or titanium shaft. Look at the shaft that they're using here. Okay, this one, it's gonna affect how you cast your line. It's gonna affect if there's wind, if you're throwing up against the wind. It is gonna tangle itself. As it is, the one that I use has been tangling itself. So those are some of the flaws, some of the things that you have to take into consideration when you're buying a popping cork, or when you're rigging your own, right? So a lot of people, what they do is they buy this end and then they rig the lower end, as it's gonna fit their fishing style. Now, I'm using about 20 inches of 50-pound monofilament. Okay, 50-pound test line, 20 inches long. For what I fish, this is the length that has been working for me. I can't go too long because I'm not fishing in deep water, and I can go short, right? But then it's gonna affect me if I wanna cast into the 4.5, 5 feet of water, right? So 20 inches has been working for me. And what I do is I I go to the Academy or Walmart, what have you, and I buy the jumbo roll, like the big roll, 50-pound test line right here, and I make leaders with it. Every once in a while, I'll renew the 20 inches from the popping cork and continue with that. The good thing about having this as opposed to, you know, putting a 15 pounds, 20 pounds test on your lower end of the popping cork is if you get snagged, if you have a massive fish, you may lose it, right? And in this case, if I can't bring in the fish, right? If that fish is within length arm of the popping cork, where I can grab the popping cork, that fish won't get away. Once my hand gets on that popping cork, it's gonna stay, because 50 pounds, it's very difficult to break that. Now, your stores, right? They're selling this right here. Okay, this is it's wire coated with plastic. It's very good. The memory sometimes can last a good while. Very strong. It can withstand, you know, a nice big fish. But look at the flimsy floater that it has. I wouldn't be able to do anything with this floater out there. Sometimes I'm fishing in gusty winds. I can't do much with this right here. This one, on the other hand, I can throw it a country mile, right? And it'll serve my purpose. This, once again, this is 26-inch long. The lower unit is about 26 inches. A little too long for where I fish, because if you guys see my channel, I like to fish the shoreline, right? I like to fan cast the shoreline. Every once in a while, you'll see me on my kayak out in the open, and this should be fine out in the open. But 26 inches is a little too long for me, okay? And then it's a little too flimsy. Now, these are pre-rigged, anglers. If you want to get something, you don't want to have to deal with what I do, get one that's pre-rigged. Now, keep in mind, what are you fishing? If you are fishing 2 feet of water, 3 feet of water, you know, or smaller, this may be too long, because what you want is you want to be able to have that bait suspended. And you want it to be barely touching the surface. And if it's touching the surface just a little bit, that's okay, because you're bouncing it every time you pop that cork. So you don't want to have 26 inches of lower unit if you're casting a foot of water. That shrimp, it's gonna get lost in whatever you're doing. So to me, in fishing, in what I do, 26 inches is way too long. 20 inches should do good. Now, you are gonna see some popping corks, like I said, like this one. It's got some beads right there. The action is not very good. And then you got the weight. Look at the weight right here. This is not a very dependable popping cork in my eyes. It's supposed to be a solid, unbendable shaft, right? not flopping all over the place. You start throwing this, you start casting it out, you're gonna end up getting a lot of air casts where you're gonna spend most of your time on untangling. Okay, so stay away from popping corks that have this kind of shaft, right? Don't even give them a second thought. You have these right here. Okay, look at the size of the beads. Okay, these will work. They'll work, but that's the sound you're gonna get. You got that titanium, okay, shaft. It's got washers. Okay, it's got washers. We'll give them that. This side will be the weighted side, right? It's got the, I believe it's like a copper color. So you would tie your 20 inches of lower unit here and then tie your hook. This end right here, you would tie the fishing line from your rod. Okay, so I have used something like this right here, but look at that action. The popper is a whole lot better. Look, it's practically brand new. Look at mine, it's all beat up, but it serves its purpose. It still floats. It still produces that nice sound, okay? So you still rig, once again, you still rig it the same way, right here, okay? Now, we do have some other ones. Look at this one right here, okay? This is a design that I've seen out there. You got those little beads, okay? The housing of the popping cork has a metal tip, and when there's a connection, you hear that popping sound. I don't like that weight right there. You have to tie your 20 inch right here in the lower unit, and it's just, it won't work. So I really don't recommend this type. Metal shaft usually bends, and it's very difficult to get that initial how should I say, you can't straighten that out at all. So now I need to replace my lower unit right here, and that's what I'm calling it. Okay, it may have a term to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the end right here. You gotta make sure that you don't have anything. You don't want to tie it over the old knot. The less you have, the less tangling you're gonna. So what I'm gonna do is, and I just make a simple fishing knot. Once again, you want to make sure that you do it where the weighted end is. Okay, I'm putting it through there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around about maybe 5 or 6 times, and then you're gonna go into the initial loop. Once you come out, you're gonna put it in through the second loop, and you cinch it right there. 50-pound test line. Good luck, bull reds, in breaking that up. So 26 inches. I got a measuring tape right here. And like I said, it's 20 inches I'm confusing you guys right here. 20 inches right there. Once again, you don't want something too big, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get tangled up, and if you ever cast it against the wind, it helicopters, right? And it comes back and it tangles your pole line. So once again, it goes right in here, and you're gonna make that same fisherman's knot. And we got the neighborhood kids going by. Put it in through the first loop, come back around, and it goes in the second loop. And you cinch it. Once again, you have to be very careful that you don't cinch that hook right on your hand, because it can happen. It's not very long, but for the type of fishing that I do, it works. If you're fishing deeper water, right, 5 to maybe 15, 20, you can go with 26 inches, maybe even 30, right? So we're gonna cut the excess. Okay, we're gonna cut the excess right there. And this is what we're looking at right here, folks. A nice popping cork with no memory. I got this hook right here. This is the hook that I like to use when I fish mullet, with live mullet, cut mullet. On the bottom, I use a Chinese hook. When I fish popping cork, I like to use this one right here. Simple reason, these work best on trout. They work best on flounder, right, and reds. So I don't want to have that curved hook where I'm gonna be losing fish, right? So once again, this is pretty much it, guys. I really don't wanna, and there's no way you can do it, right? I'm not saying there is no way you can do it. You can buy, if you have the machinery, right, you can buy the shaft, right, and you just have to do the ends here, right? If you're good with tools, you're gonna have to do your own ends. If you have these little applications, the little beads, once again, it can be done. I just choose to do it this way, right here, 20 inches long. That's what I use, okay? But you can use more. So I didn't want the video to go this long, but you know, hopefully it helps you guys out there. Once again, these will work. They will work. 20 inches, right? You hook up the lower end to what's weighted. If there's no weight over here, then hook it up over here. Wherever you see that it's weighted the most, that's where you put your that's where your lower unit is gonna be. Okay, so that's this tutorial, guys. I do want to make another tutorial on replacing the pin from the Minn Kota propeller, right? I'm gonna do one. Maybe I'll do it today. Maybe I'll do it sometime this week. So I'll leave you with that, guys. Once again, I am Roel from Anglers 48. That's my pickup truck. Sometimes you guys will see it out there. Say hello, guys. Sometimes if you see me, I guess out there, I may be in the zone, right? If you're a fisherman, you know what that's like. You're in a zone and you're fixed right here. But I'll be more than happy to just give you guys a wave, say hi. So yeah, check out my channel, please. If you haven't, please comment and share. I would like to hear some of your comments on how things have gone for you out there on the water. We'll see what the weather brings for next weekend, and yeah, greatly appreciate each and every one of you support. Please comment and share. Once again, I keep repeating myself. From far Texas, guys, Anglers 48 signing off. Thank you.